Hello everyone, welcome to the latest episode of the Bunkered Podcast. We are back. The post-James Tate era begins in earnest. What a show we've got lined up for you. We're going to be talking about the Ryder Cup. The US finally has its man. It's the same man they had about 10 years ago. We're going to be talking about Jim Furyk back for another go as captain. And of course, we'll be talking about ticket prices. Scandalous. That's what people are saying. Scandalous ticket prices for Adare Manoe next year. But are they? We'll be discussing whether they are or not. We'll be looking at Lytham hosting the Open, Nelly Korda winning major number 3, LIV, PIF, all that stuff. Plus, a first signing for McLaren Golf announced in the last hour as we are recording this. So it's Monday, the 27th of April, just after 2 p.m. here in our Dundee HQ. I'm Michael McEwen. Thank you very much for tuning in. Joined by our performance editor, Lewis Fraser. Mr. Fraser, how are we doing?
Very well, Michael. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent.
Good. This is discombobulating. It feels like there's a space missing between us.
I don't feel like I should be going any further to the right of this desk because I'm just waiting for him to burst through that door and sit there and...
Which I'm surprised he hasn't done,
yes,
to be honest.
I say that jokingly, and as I say it, I think that could potentially happen, that you'll just turn up. Oh, yeah, I forgot I wasn't supposed to, didn't it?
So maybe James Tate move. Oh, I forgot I left.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about James just before we came on air, and we have a theory, ladies and gents.
Well, you have a theory.
I have a theory.
Yeah, go on.
And I think it's a good theory. So James, as you know, has moved on to pastures new, those pastures being the fulfillment, the realization of a long ambition that he's had, which is to run his own long drive enterprise. And I'm sure he's going to be a huge success with it, both competing and teaching people how to hit the ball miles. No one's going to hit the ball as far as he does, but he's going to try and help them. Now, that's the official line, Lewis.
Yes.
I wonder, knowing
okay.
James as we do, if there is an unofficial line that may be closer to the truth.
An ulterior motive,
Correct.
perhaps.
I would not be at all surprised if Mr. James Tate appeared on The Traitors.
Wow.
The next season of it. Now, he's spoken about it
deceived us
before.
to tell us that he's doing golf coaching.
Well, he's off to a good start. He's a traitor. He's left.
Yeah.
Right? So straight away, not faithful, traitor. He's practicing.
Yeah, maybe.
But James likes the show.
Yeah.
And he and I have discussed this. I think he would be brilliant on it.
Do you reckon?
Genuinely, I think he would
As
be
a
very,
traitor?
very good. Either.
Okay.
I think he would struggle as a traitor. James is too nice. He's too honest a guy.
He can't lie.
He cannot. He's like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar. Just unless he is tricked into it or whatever, he cannot lie. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him on it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up winning it.
That would
so
be
maybe that's the real
television.
reason that he's left.
Maybe. Yeah, look out for him. Next season off it. That
James
would be
Tate on
amazing.
BBC One on New Year's Day.
Primetime TV.
We knew it was going to happen sometime. We just didn't know the programme.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Here, I could see that, by the way.
Yeah, I think
like,
so.
Seriously. James will be listening. James might be listening to this.
You know he is.
Yeah, no, you'll be listening to this. If you're thinking about that, James, do it.
Yeah.
We want to see that. Yep.
I'd be very good at it.
Leave him in as long as possible as well if you're another contestant
Can you
to be
imagine, though?
and you listen. Keep him to the final.
He gets there and he's like,
With
walks
a
into
cloak
the room.
on. No, the thing is,
The
like,
cloak's
James is the
one thing.
biggest guy like
I know.
ever. He's like wide, built like a barn door. You know how they do the cut scenes where it's the traitors have like the hood up and they're walking outside the castle.
No mistaking him.
There'd be no mistaking him. If someone saw him in the cloak, well, it's clearly James.
Can you imagine getting murdered though? He'd walk into the room and be like,
Oh, mate.
That's not what you want, is it? By order of the traitors. Anyway, James, best of luck with the show. Don't forget it's when you're famous. Lewis, you were playing golf at the weekend.
Yes.
Tell us where and how you got on.
This time last week, I was in Cornwall.
You were,
at
yes.
Perranporth Golf Club. So I have never been to that part of the world before, to Cornwall, ever. And it was brilliant. Like, I play a lot of golf around Scotland, and I got the train down to Newquay, got picked up from there. A long journey, that's a story for another day, but the golf, sensational. Perranporth Golf Club, I played the practice round with a couple other members of the media and with their head greenkeeper, Rob. So Rob's a really good golfer, and he, after a couple of holes, was like, yeah, I've grown up playing here, and as juniors we used to describe this place as like playing on the moon. So at that point I thought, right, I'm glad that Rob was playing with us, because there's a lot of shots where you kind of don't really know where you're going, but in like a really fun way, in that you'd hit it up the right and then you'd see your ball like bounce like sideways back into the fairway. I think that's brilliant. So it was a real, see, like anyone who's been in central Scotland for the last 6 months and has tried to play golf will immediately step in the first tee and it'll just be muddy. And that wasn't the case round there. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was
good drainage. Love a bit of good drainage.
Oh, what Rob told me what surface it was under it, and I can't remember now. So I'm not going to say what it is, but it's something that drains really well. So greenkeepers listening will be able to, it's probably clay or something or whatever. But yeah, it was part
like
of the...
playing on the moon. I've got a feeling that Reed Wiseman, who I know listens to the show as well, of course he does, why wouldn't he? Reed Wiseman would probably be listening right now going, nah, it's not.
No, I think, I wouldn't. I've not played on the moon before, but I can't imagine it's quite like that.
Only one human ever has, allegedly.
Is that's like the only sport to have been played on the moon as well, I think, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's not like they've gone up there with 30 people for a quick 15-a-side rugby match.
Well, I don't know.
Can you imagine? Goodness me. And then yesterday you were playing Gullen number 2.
Yeah, so played with a couple of the guys from the office. So John and Fraser from the marketing team. One of my mates, Sean, made up the 4-ball. So it was a nice halved match. So that was good.
Right, okay.
John got his fair share of shots. So in future, that is getting chopped. But yeah, there was some good golf on display. So I've been working... As regular listeners will know, like through the winter, I've been working quite hard at my game. And at Perranporth, I hit the ball really good, but on the greens, it was like a disaster, like putting really badly. To the point where, you know, when you miss like quite a short putt and your playing partner's like, oh, what were you thinking there? You didn't take your time. And it got to like sort of the 15th or 16th hole and I missed another short one. And no one said anything, so they just like felt sorry for me at that point, missing all these putts. And I was on a complete tangent here. Sorry, we'll get to the Jim Furyk bit in a minute. Get to that soon. But I was on a shoot with Ailsa Murphy as part of our performance panel on Thursday.
Oh yeah, Peebles.
And yes, at Peebles, and she was asking me about my golf, and I said that I was struggling with the putter, and she was like, "Right, go on, hit a couple putts." And so I said, "Right, before we do that, I'm going to get our photographer, Eve, to film this because if there's a eureka moment here, I want it to be captured." And I hit a putt and missed it left, which is what I tend to do. She was like, "Right, I've got it." And she gave me like the most basic tip ever, this thing that I was doing wrong with my putting. Filmed it, so I'm going to post that later in the week. I'm not going to say what it is at the moment. And went out.
You've got a miracle cure for your putting?
Went out yesterday, it was incredible.
Jeez, oh.
Shot 1 under yesterday.
What?
Round number 2. Yeah, Gullen. Every ball in the hole.
Scratch? 1 under?
Yeah, 70.
Jeez, oh.
I should have been 3 under after 3. Missed from like 4 foot in the first.
So it's your putting and it's fixed? Well done,
It's
Ailsa.
cured. So I could be playing the Open this year, to be honest.
Which Open? Calendar, Candle Rigs, White Craigs.
Clydebank.
Yeah. It's a bit more like it. Let's not get too carried away.
Let's not get carried away. But yeah, it was good.
Good for you.
Even boys I was playing with, like, not seen you play this well in ages. I was like, I've not seen me play this well ever. So yeah, things are looking up on that front.
You owe Ailsa 10% of your next American Golf voucher.
Yes.
Let's talk Ryder Cup. Yes. Because there's a lot to get through here, Lewis. So I want to talk a little bit about the tickets in a minute or two, but let's deal with the captain up first. So Jim Furyk announced last week by the PGA of America as the captain for the 2027 match at Adare Manoe. It's not deja vu. You have heard this before. Jim Furyk was also appointed captain of the US team for the 2018 match at Le Golf National outside Paris. So they have gone back to the future or something like that, Lewis.
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
They've run out of ideas. Tiger didn't want it, and now they're giving it back to Jim once again. It's the classic. Yeah. The classic. Well, let's just go and see who used to do this.
I guess.
What's your thoughts on the Furyk appointment?
Well, he's got a really bad record as a player, right? And then in France, it went really badly for him there as well. 17.5,
10.5 Europe won on that occasion.
And that was, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the second session on Friday was a whitewash for the Europeans. Right. And that was alternate shot of foursomes there. And none of those matches were particularly close. So the one thing that the captain has the most influence on is alternate shot partners, foursomes partners, because that's where you really need them to match up and work well. And he got that terribly wrong when he was captain the first time. So, yeah, my reaction to it, I was confused because... No, but do you know what I mean, though? Because we'd spoken about it and thought, well, Keegan Bradley might get another chance to do this properly and kind of learn from his mistakes that are fresh in the mind. He got some things right, probably, but also got some key things wrong. Jim Furyk has had a long time to think about this, and I would be surprised if he wasn't surprised at getting this call to say, do you want to do this? Because there's other names that have been
definitely surprised. I don't think there's much doubt that it took Furyk by surprise. But, I mean, I'm stunned by it. I think it's a really peculiar decision in much the same way, rather, as Keegan Bradley getting the gig a couple of years ago was a really peculiar decision. On that occasion, they didn't seem to have a plan B for, well, what if Tiger says no? Then Tiger did say no, and they're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Give it Keegan, young guy, rip up the rule book. He loves this event more than everyone else in the team put together. Let's let him run the show. And you could see why that. You could actually make a compelling case for why there was logic behind that decision. With this one, same deal. Oh, Tiger will definitely want this. I mean, he didn't want it last time. He's bound to want it this time. Plus, JP McManus, his old pal, he owns Adare Manoe. That's where the match is going to be played. He's never going to say no for JP. Never mind us. Then Tiger flips his car, disappears off to rehab, rules himself out of the running. It had kind of looked like it was going that way anyway before all this unravelled. And yet again, they're left going, plan B. Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We could go back to Keegan Bradley. No, that didn't go so well last time. I would make the case for Keegan Bradley, by the way.
So would I.
We could go to, let's say, Fred Couples. But if we're going to go and give it to Fred Couples, who's never done it, we may as well give it to somebody else that's from the old guard who has done it before. Tell you what, let's give it to Jim.
Yes.
It would have made so much more sense to give it back to Davis Love if you're going to do, if that's the logic. Like, give it back to somebody who's done it before and knows what to expect. Davis Love got to do a do-over after 2012 at Medina. He won it in 2016 at Hazeltine. He's a good captain. He's a proven captain. He was only defeated first time around by a sodding miracle.
Yes.
And then 2016 comes along and he was phenomenal. So, to be honest, over over 10 sessions, you could argue that Davis Love only got it wrong once.
Yeah.
At most.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
are you
in terms of like
singles in Medina? Yeah, but then, like you say, it took a miracle there.
It took a miracle. So you can actually make a really solid case for Davis Love. You could also make a solid case for Steve Stricker. Guy did it most recently in 2021, the most recent US captain to win. Yes, there's mitigation, COVID, lack of European fans, but all the way through, he dealt with his captaincy. He did everything pretty much right. Maybe he didn't want it. Maybe Love didn't want it. I'm sensing, though, they just went, Jim.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me. I just don't see the logic at all in what Europe have done really well is that they now have continuity. And even if Luke Donald didn't want it, there's people in his staff that have been doing, have been looking up to him for the last couple editions, like Molinari's. And you could say one of them could take it on and just carry on with the same approach. With this, you've gone from Keegan, who's on Netflix documentaries and saying I can't remember his exact wording, but basically saying that we're going to go and beat them and everything. And it's all hell for leather approach. Jim Furyk, to me, seems like the opposite of that, in that it's an old head, someone who's been there and done it, and like you say...
But he hasn't done it. That's the thing, he hasn't.
Very unsuccessfully.
He's done the job. He hasn't won.
No.
I mean, I would disagree somewhat when you bring up his own personal record. You know, he's played, I think, in 9 editions of the match. He's played 34 matches in that time. He's won 10, lost 20, halved 4.
Yeah.
So a really, really bad record as a player. Funnily enough, though, he's still the 5th highest earning points getter for the US in the history of the match.
Right, okay.
Because he's played in so many.
Yes.
But yeah, really, really poor playing record. But does that matter? I mean, bad captains, good players could be bad captains. Nick Faldo was the best example of that. You know, bad players could be good captains. Probably less evidence of them even getting a shot in the first instance to do it. But what I don't understand is the fact that you look at Furyk's captaincy last time out and not much went right. He got a lot of his decisions wrong. His pairings he got wrong. He was outfoxed by Thomas Bjorn. Patrick Reed wanted to go nuclear in his press conference afterwards about how the week had been allowed to go, and how he signed, if I remember it rightly, he was almost alluding to the fact that Furyk just bowed down to what other players around about him wanted, and he didn't really lead the team.
Okay.
He was more sort of there overseeing the team. Look, in between times, he's had a successful, I think, President's Cup captaincy. Yeehaw, good on him. But no disrespect to Jim Furyk at all. An incredible career as a player, major champion, world's top 5 for God knows how many weeks, won something like 30 times, and a top man.
Yeah.
He's a really good man as Jim Furyk. But as a captain, you know what? They would have been better off going with somebody like Julie Inkster, who was a winning Solheim Cup captain multiple times over, straightened out the US Solheim Cup team. Remember, they used to show up with makeup on and dealy boppers and all that sort of stuff in their hair. And she said, nope, stop them doing that. This is how we're going to get this team back on the winning track. And she did.
Yep.
Jim Furyk himself must wake up in the middle of the night going, oh my God, the Ryder Cup. It must bring him out in a cold sweat.
Well, this is the thing about, you're talking about playing record. And to me, that does matter somewhat. In that, granted, I get match play, really volatile format. He could go out and shoot 6 under and get beaten, whatever.
Yeah.
But if
those
you
20 defeats could be all in the 18th hole, and the 10 wins could be 9 and 8.
Exactly that.
They weren't.
They weren't. No, but like the point still stands that you can play really well and get beat, but whatever. But if you're a captain who has done well and won a lot of matches, you can pass that on to the players. Maybe if you have rookies in your team and say, this is what you want to do, this is the kind of little hints and tips here to do better. Whereas if you're someone who's lost that many games and been on so many losing sides, you don't have that aspect of things at all. So I do think that's important.
That's the bigger deal, that last bit, the losing sides.
Yeah.
He's played 9 times and he's only won twice.
You get into a habit of losing, which is a bad thing to say, but it's true.
I know.
Yeah.
Look at who's leaving Rangers this summer.
Yeah, well, God,
but it's true though, like...
It is.
I think you should wake up for whether it's the US Ryder Cup team or Rangers or Man United or whatever, you should wake up dreading defeat, fearing it, and doing everything you can to avoid it. But then, as you say, it happens a few times, and well, life does end up going on. It hurts, it stings, it sucks, but life goes on. Next match comes around, lost again. It sucks, it stings, life goes on. And it starts to be, you dread it less because you become accustomed to it. You become habitually a loser.
Yeah.
Again, I can't stress this enough. This isn't a pop at Jim Furyk. It's merely a representation of why I think he's not the right candidate to captain the team because of all the stuff that's gone on before. So, primarily his captaincy in 2018. The players in your team must look at you and see a guy that they go, yeah, he gets it. He knows what it takes to win. He's a born winner in this environment.
Yes.
Not about being a born winner in a major championship environment. If that was the case, the Europeans would never have let Nick Faldo not do the job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like, they must look at Jim Furyk and go, in a Ryder Cup sense,
yeah,
we're going to need to raise our game here, lads, because I'm not sure the captain's going to.
If you're a player, if you're someone like Xander Schauffele or Scotty Scheffler right now and you're looking
neither of
at
whom
that,
were born the last time the USA won an away match.
Well,
by the way.
there you go. If you're looking from their point of view, are you massively inspired by this appointment?
Exactly that.
I doubt it.
Exactly
so
that.
There's that. And then also, like, kind of the thing that strikes me with it is looking past next year in that, where do the USA go from here? See if Jim Furyk does really well. Does he then get the captaincy again? Or is this a bit of... Do you think this is like a stopgap almost to say, right, we're completely resetting things. We had like...
But what's the succession plan?
Well, I don't know. And that's what I'm thinking. But you have like a fairly reasonable structure of captains and that following the same formula, players who are getting to like tail end of the PGA Tour career, like Zach Johnson and Davis Love third and whoever else.
Stricker and so
Stricker,
on.
yeah, exactly. And then you
But then
completely...
two guys,
you
the two
rip that
next
up.
two didn't want it. Woods and Mickelson.
Exactly. Rip it up and go with Keegan. That doesn't work. And then you think, God, we're not doing that approach again. Completely going back
I
to
don't
what we
think they
did.
ripped it up. I think they had no option, but it was ripped up for them by Tiger not wanting it.
Yeah.
And by them, and I say that Phil didn't want it. Phil maybe did want the job, but he's not allowed it, evidently. So they had their formula ripped up for them by Tiger not wanting to do the gig 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have no succession plan. They have no plan.
No.
They evidently have no plan.
This was not part of the plan.
No,
surely.
of course it wasn't.
No.
Of course it wasn't. If it
So
was,
there you go.
they wouldn't have waited until
Now.
end
Yeah,
of
to do it.
April to a point. Like more than a month, maybe 2 months after Europe said, by the way, Luke Donald's doing it for a third time.
Yep.
It's amazing. And this isn't Furyk's fault at all. And if they win, I will be stunned.
Yes. So will I.
But if they lose, Furyk's going to get a ton of grief that he really doesn't deserve. Because this decision is, I mean, how's he going to say no? And the PG of America say, Jim, we need you to do this job. Can you come and do it? Of course he's going to say yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He's not Tiger. He's not Phil.
Yeah, and it's not
So it's
gonna
like-
it's not gonna make his reputation in the Ryder Cup worse, is it?
What-
Do you know
what's
what I mean?
he got
Like,
to lose?
Nothing.
That's
he
the
can
thing.
go and win, and all of a sudden
But
he's
the
a
PG
hero.
of America, this is a match they can't afford to lose.
Mm-hmm.
They will have lost for the third time in a row if Europe wins at Adare Manoe.
Yep.
I know we're getting ahead of ourselves. I don't care. That's the whole point of this, is to look to the future and get it badly wrong with predictions.
Hopefully
Jesus.
not.
By that point, it'll be 33. So the next opportunity they'll have to win on European soil will be closing in on 40 years since their last one.
That's insane.
Tom
when you put it
Watson
that way.
led the team at the Belfry in 1993.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last time the USA won in Europe.
Yeah.
Half of the team that played at Bethpage for the US, 6 of those 12 players weren't even born that time. So there's a whole generation of American golfers that have grown up, turned pro, won major championships, got to world number 1, that have absolutely no frame of reference for winning a Ryder Cup in Europe.
Yep.
And forgive me, but it's a hard thing to do to win on the road. That's why it doesn't happen that often. These guys don't even have a frame of reference in their lifetime.
Yep.
It's wild.
It's wild, and you're right. I don't see it changing.
I
this
don't
time
see it
around.
changing.
No, I don't.
So,
What
listen,
do you?
I genuinely wish
on.
Jim Furyk the best. I keep saying this because I don't want... Because I'm sick of the comments, to be honest, but I don't want any grief. Jim Furyk is a nice man, an honourable man, and a hell of a golfer. As a Ryder Cup legend, no, I'm not buying it. And I do think that for myriad reasons, he's the wrong man to lead this team, none of which is his fault. He's been put in this really invidious position where I just don't believe he's going to turn around and say no. Plus, he's a competitor. He'll believe that he can turn it around. These guys are all programmed that way. But, my God, I cannot... The thing I struggle with the most is how the PG of America has got itself into this position.
Exactly.
Like, why are they scrambling around in April looking for a captain? Just mental. Anyway,
Yes.
moving on.
Yes.
The discourse has moved on a little bit since Furyk's appointment, or at least it's been clouded, shall we say, with... Jesus, shall we say? That was a James Tate, wasn't it?
Yeah. Shall we say?
Shall we say?
He's still here.
The
we're never
discourse
going to get
has
away
been
from
muddied
James.
somewhat
Yes.
by the ticket prices for next year. So this was announced mid last week. If you want to go to the Ryder Cup and go to one of the competition days, so Friday, Saturday or Sunday, it's going to cost you €499.
Yeah.
Apparently, Lewis.
Yes.
€499
That is a lot of euros.
just to get in the door. Now, that is less than Bethpage was, which was $750 or something.
Yep.
But tell me where you stand on this. What's your thoughts on the price of admission?
It's sad, but also not surprising these days with the way that professional sport tickets are going.
World Cup?
World Cup, yeah, as I well know. But that's kind of always been like a bit of an American thing, in that these like crazy prices. Like, it wasn't I don't remember it being much of a story with Bethpage about these being.
Oh, it was.
Oh, okay.
Definitely,
well,
I remember that very clearly.
Okay, well, I take it back. But I think we're maybe a bit more conditioned to that with American events, in that those are always very heavily priced. This, it's bad for people who just want a day out at the golf, spending €500 for just one person. Like if you want to take
a family of four, 2,000.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like normal people are never going to be able to do that. So
this is the thing. You look at how much Sunday ticket prices have been for the last 4 Ryder Cups in Europe. So we're going back to Gleneagles in 2014. That would have cost you £145. The Golf National 2018, £150. Marco Simone in Italy in 2023, that jumped to £225. And Adare Manoe, using current conversion rates, is going to be £434. What are we doing?
It's not what the Ryder Cup should be about, is it? It's the complete opposite of what it's about.
I mean, I get the Ryder Cup, much like the Open and the R&A, the Ryder Cup has to make a lot of money for the European Tour because it's its single biggest cash cow.
Yep.
It has to make it profitable. But previous years have been profitable. Why are we now suddenly almost doubling prices from the last European event to now? What is that, 93% markup in 4 years?
Basically double, give or take. Yeah,
exactly. I don't know how anyone in their right mind can sit there and justify that. I found a ticket stub a couple of weeks ago. I was going through some old boxes. I found a ticket stub for a gig that I went to in Glasgow in 2001. I went there with my friends to the Barlands. We went to see Feeder.
Oh, brilliant.
You know Feeder?
Yeah, no,
there you go. Good. See, I was cool once.
Yeah.
And that ticket cost us £10.
God.
Now, people will be going, oh yes, but inflation and things cost more now than they used to.
Sure,
that is correct.
That is true.
So luckily, there is an inflation calculator on the Bank of England website.
Okay.
I checked, and that ticket now would cost me £19.12.
You're not seeing Feeder for less than 20 quid these days, are you? No chance.
All those prices are now hiked, £75 and all that. And that's before you add in all the little fees they like to add. Booking fees, registration fees, reservation fees, wearing jeans on a Friday fees. There's lots of extra charges. It reminds me, you don't have a mortgage yet, right?
No, I don't.
You're living the way a man of your age should live. And I remember when we got our first mortgage, I couldn't believe the shit ton of additional fees you get.
That's good to
Stamp duty, there's a thing that we had called a registration fee,
right?
Which was just so that somebody would press a button on their keyboard, like the enter button right there, that would move the money out of our account into the building society's account. 50 quid to press enter.
You're paying the building society money to take your money,
literally
and
move
give it to
the
them.
cash from one account to the next.
For God's sake.
So all of which is to say, there's lots of different ways that people now bump up prices.
Yes.
With music, I kind of understand it. Like bands don't make the same money they made off albums and physical sales of their music. So when they tour, and they all tour all the time, it's going to cost you a lot more. That doesn't apply here.
Not really. No.
It really doesn't.
No.
So what are we paying £434 for? To get in to Adare Manoe, where if you're lucky, you're going to see... How many golfers in the morning is the maximum you can see? 4. You're going to see about 16 golfers.
Yeah.
If you go on the Sunday, you'll get to see them all, but you're not going to see every shot because the crowds will be 20 deep.
Yeah.
And by the way, there'll be about 200 people inside the ropes blocking your view.
That's another story, yeah.
If you go and sit in the wrong place, you won't see any golf at all because how many matches go to 18? It's just, I cannot believe it. It's like they put Dick Turpin in charge of the Ryder Cup. It's scandalous, it's wrong, it's rampant, blatant profiteering, and no matter how much they want to try and justify it, I'm just not buying it.
No.
They must know themselves, these people that are putting these prices out there, that it's just not right.
Yeah, of course it isn't. And you're right.
In this day and age, look how much everything costs us. We're not getting any richer.
No, far from it.
Bryson is.
Yeah, some people are.
It's just
It is greed, unfortunately,
Yeah.
is what it is. There's no other way of getting around that. And these tickets don't need to be that much money. And the thing is, they make them that much because they know that people will buy them.
This is it.
And that's...
Two things are true here. One, they're outrageously priced. Two, they'll sell out.
Yeah, of course they will. Yeah, well, I'm sure there was reports that the initial allocation, I guess you'd call it, have sold out, haven't they, to local fans, I believe. So
apparently so.
Yeah, so there you go. They're going to look at that and think, well, it's justified because people are spending it. And it's always going to sell. The Ryder Cup's always going to sell out. But it's
like, how many
pricing
kids are going
people
to get
out.
to go?
Well, this is the thing. It's
Kids
pricing
can't go by
families
themselves.
out. Yeah, it's people who can afford to, like, that €500 is nothing to them and they can go and spend it, which is not ordinary golf fans.
No, it's
ordinary
not.
golfers at all.
Richard Atkinson is the European Tour's Group Chief Ryder Cup Officer. So he's the guy that's basically on the hook for this. And he said, talking about this first batch selling out, the demand from fans across the island of Ireland has been unprecedented. We know that Irish golf fans are among the most enthusiastic in the world, and this is yet another reminder of that. We also look forward to the start of June when, in addition to Irish residents getting a second chance, fans from around the world will get their opportunity to be a part of this great sporting occasion too. I mean, I think the fact that Justin Rose's caddy, Mark Fulcher, came out and said that this is a sad day for the sport speaks volumes.
Yep.
And there was another comment by Richard that I want to pick up. Well, there it is. We acknowledge it's an increase from Rome, he told BBC Sport Northern Ireland. It's not just an increase, Richard. It's nearly double.
Yep.
That was 4 years ago, and a lot has happened in the world since then. Yes, everything's got more expensive.
Yes.
Not twice as much more expensive, but more expensive. We're lower than Bethpage. Oh, well done. Congratulations. You're lower than the most expensive, most extortionate Ryder Cup in history. Well done, you. We've tried to make this as accessible as possible to a wide demographic of people. Well, you failed. Our practice day tickets will be from €89 and juniors from €20. That's good, because everyone wants to see people practice.
Yeah, I know.
That's what we all want to see.
24 golfers practicing.
If you can't afford to come and see the stuff that matters, come and see the stuff that doesn't. Brilliant. Or by the way, if you've ever been to a Ryder Cup practice day, you'll know it's a waste of time.
Pretty much.
Genuinely
unfortunately.
a waste of time.
There's not enough golfers to make it worthwhile.
Of course there's not.
Sadly.
Our prices are proportionate, says Richard, to a global sporting event. This event is growing in stature and profile, one of the biggest sporting events in the world. We're confident in our pricing, but we've made it accessible to everyone. Well, again, you've not, but you're right. It is proportionate to a global sporting event, and that's the problem. All of these events are costing far too much money. Proper, decent, hard-working fans are being priced out of going to something, and we're basically relying on a bigger middle class, if such a thing exists, to do all the heavy lifting. It makes my blood boil.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not in the spirit of the Ryder Cup. It's not in the spirit of golf. It's reinforcing a lot of what I still say are misconceptions people have about the sport, which is that it's for rich people only and you need to have a certain amount of income to be able to have anything to do with it. That's not the golf I know. But this doesn't help. Like, just, but kids can come and see it on a practice day for €20. You should be getting in for bloody free on a practice
I know.
day.
What's
You shouldn't
€20?
be celebrating that it's €20 for a child to go and see golf that doesn't matter.
Yeah, just make that free.
Of course you should.
Of course. What difference is the €20 times however many going to make in the grand scheme of things?
We've got a record 20,000 grandstand seats and an increased number of giant screens. If it's a seat in a telly you want, stay at home. People don't want to see that. Good grief. Oh, Lewis.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Like,
No, of course
genuinely,
you're not
am I
wrong.
wrong in this?
Yeah.
I'm prepared to admit that I'm wrong.
No,
but
I don't think you're wrong. I think it's completely disproportionate to what it needs to be. I would understand if there was a small increase from the last time that it was in Europe, because, like you say, things are getting more expensive. But it doesn't need to be like this. Surely, I would love to see numbers that say that it does need to be, rather than just saying, yeah, well, everything's getting more expensive, so we're going to be more expensive as well. Because
what a justification that is.
It's
well, everyone else is doing it.
Yeah, so it doesn't make it right. It's the classic, if your mate jumped off the Keswick Bridge, would you go and do the same thing? No, it doesn't mean that it's right. So, no, you're completely, you're right. It's just, it makes me again, like I've started on this point, just sad that people who might have been wanting to go to this Ryder Cup for years since it's been announced and are local to the area are looking at that and thinking, you know what, I'll just watch it on TV, not going to get the chance. And kids who, like I went to practice day at Glen Eagles as would have been about a 15-year-old. And as much as it was a practice day, it wasn't the tournament. It was brilliant. And I can't remember how expensive that was to go, but it's clearly not so ridiculous of it being £500, where it would never have been in the question to go and watch that. It's the same with like the Open. Like I went in 2010 to watch at St Andrews, and if tickets were ridiculously priced like this, I'm never going to go to that. And there's so many people around Scotland who would have been the same, that would have been there, and if it wasn't for that opportunity, would probably have not bothered with golf after it. They would have gone and done something else at the time because they're not getting the chance to see the best players in the world up close in competition. So there's going to be so many people local to Adare Manoe who right now are just thinking, nah, sack that off, or go to a practice day maybe. But even still, like, it's not like that's cheap. If you're saying what, €89 for an adult that day, so if you're taking
just to get in the door,
that's basically, and
I
you're
think people have
taking
forgotten
2 kids.
It's not exactly master's prices once you actually get in the door either.
No, well, this is the thing. So you're talking €200 for a family of 4 to go on a practice day.
Yeah.
Well, you might not even
and
see.
The rest.
Yeah,
And the rest.
Aye, that's before you actually get to the course, pay for parking, something to eat. Yeah, aye, it does. It's frustrating.
It is frustrating. I think that's a good summary of where I'm at. I think Lewis is frustrated, sad. I know that Richard's got to say what he's got to say, and that's fine. Yeah. I just wish they'd come to a different conclusion, one that wasn't double. We can all accept a modest increase because that is what is that is the way that the world is going. Things are costing more. We all know the reasons why, or at least some of them. But doubling the prices, you cannot do that and then tell me that it's proportionate and, you know, that it's accessible to as wide a possible demographic. It's just, stop gaslighting. It's not. It just isn't.
Nah, yeah.
It just isn't.
Yeah, the bit about making it accessible to everyone is just not true. Like, sorry, just isn't. Like, it's,
just because you're letting kids in for €20 to see, hopefully, somebody hit a shot. I mean, those kids probably won't see a thing.
No, unless you're
they'll be
clever
looking
about where you stand. Yeah,
people's legs, and they'll be looking through all the people that are inside the ropes. And kids are like the rest of us. They want to see stuff that matters. They want to see winners and losers, and they're going to leave that night and it'll be like, so who won? Oh, nobody. No, it wasn't this today. Didn't count.
It starts tomorrow. Are you going tomorrow? No, couldn't afford it.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, let's move on.
Yeah,
because
please.
I'm starting to get really pissed off. So let's go to Aston Answered instead, Lewis. By the way, if you've got thoughts on the ticket prices, as I said, I'm prepared to be wrong. I'm prepared to be challenged. More than happy to be challenged. I think it's important to have that conversation. So let me know your thoughts. Slide into the DMs, letters@bunker.co.uk if you'd rather send an email. Yeah, let us know your opinion on it. Would love to hear what you have to say. Anyway, Aston Answered. Lewis, if the answer is 35.3%, what is the question? I quite like this one. So you can have a little think, see if you can figure it out. I'll give you a clue. Okay. It's somewhat related to stuff we've already spoken about on this week's episode. Okay. But whilst you're thinking, here are some answers. I did pose this question on social media over the weekend. Stuart Matheson, is it the chance of rain every single time I can actually get out to play golf?
35%. Here, I'd take that.
Yeah. It's been way higher than that so far this year, Stuart. Unless, I don't know, you live somewhere nice. Daniel Storton, the percentage chance that Michael will nail the Aston Answered segment following the break when introducing what the answer, no wait, the correct question is. Oh, Daniel, that is niche. It shows that you listen to the show, and I appreciate it. That is very good, in fact. And a long-time contributor to this section, MB Rabs, the proportion of the US team who will know who their Ryder Cup captain actually is. God. Oh, my word.
As previously discussed.
Sean McCluskey. And we'll be talking about this in the next part.
Sure.
Is it the percentage of golfers who will stay with LIV when the money dries up?
Oh, God, we're talking about that. Are we? Brilliant.
35. That's basically 1 in 3. Oh, will it be 1 in 3? Let's discuss that after the break. Okay. But Lewis, what have you got for me? 35.3%. If that is the answer, what is the question?
Is it? I don't think it is this. I don't remember discussing this in the first part. But is it the chance of Spurs avoiding relegation this season?
Oh, I don't even think it's as good as that.
No, I don't think it is.
Now they've lost their most creative player, Xavi Simons, is out for the season and the World Cup.
Yep.
So
did they not? Did he not do his ACL and they told him to run it off? I'm sure.
Why are you laughing at that?
Because it's so ludicrous. Sorry, I don't mean
magic
to wish ill on him. Yeah, the old magic sponge. You'll be fine, son. On you go.
Yeah, run it off.
Yeah.
First one's free and all that.
Fancy dance. Yeah, not that.
Well, it's
how confident was Jim Furyk that the call about the Ryder Cup wasn't a wind-up?
Wrong again.
See, I thought that was discussed, so that was a bit more...
You're getting closer.
Right, okay.
You're getting closer. Okay. So I will reveal what the correct question, take that, Daniel, is the other side of this commercial break. Do not go anywhere.
Do you want an easy way to book tea times in Spain, Portugal and Italy? If yes, then On Tea is your answer. OnTea.com is a reliable and easy-to-use site for tea time bookings. There are 3 reasons why you should use On Tea. 1. You can cancel your tea time up to 48 hours before teeing off, free of charge. 2. You have the payment option Book Now, Pay Later available. 3. On Tea guarantees the lowest online price. Go to ontea.com today and discover 1,000 bookable courses. Use the code BUNKERED26 during checkout to get a discount on your purchase. Valid throughout 2026.
Welcome back, part 2 of this week's Bunkered podcast. Michael and Lewis here with you, live in the Dundee headquarters of DC Thomson. Dennis the Menace downstairs. Before the break, asked and answered. If the answer is 35.3%, what is the question? Nailed it! First time ever, by the way.
Yes.
Yes.
Daniel, take that.
Job done. What percentage of Ryder Cup points available to him did Jim Furyk win as a player? 35.3%. So, like I said, he played 34 matches, won 10, halved 4, so that's another 2 points. That's your 12 points out of 34, and he lost 20. He lost 20! 20 defeats!
Man. Yep. Oh, that is bad.
There's your skipper. That's Tavernier-esque.
I will say that's good maths. It's good maths from you to work that out. I wouldn't have even attempted to do the sums on that. Or did you work it out? Did you take it from somewhere else? You're looking at me as if you're
Lewis, I used the calculator.
Yeah, I know, but still, I would have fucked that up. Wow, 87%. He was brilliant. Why are we complaining? He's 147% of points from Jim Furyk. Well done, him. Yeah, I know, but that's the number I would have come to.
Oh, dearie me. Listen, before we go much further, I've actually got a couple of listener questions. People are just taking it upon themselves to send us questions.
Good.
Now. Excellent.
Yeah,
it's good.
Mailbag, I'm up for that. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, so Gordon Rowan. A question for the pod, chaps. Is Ricky Fowler's career the most disappointing in golf? So once you chew on that, here's the context.
Right.
After all the expectation, he's only won 6 times in the PGA Tour and 2 on the European Tour. Surely a lot more was expected, even if his bank balance is better than mine. It's a good question, Gordon, and I think this speaks to a few years ago. There was a poll done on the PGA Tour, one of those anonymous player polls.
Yep.
And Ricky Fowler came out on top quite comfortably in answer to the question, who is the most overrated player on the tour?
Right.
And at the time, I thought it was harsh. I still think it's harsh, but I do understand the justification for it, because Fowler, I remember watching him in his last event as an amateur, which was also Rory McIlroy's last event as an amateur, 2007 Walker Cup at Royal County Down. And Fowler stood out a mile in a team that contained Billy Horschel, Dustin Johnson, I think Webb Simpson was there, Chris Kirk was there, Kyle Stanley.
Was it Anthony Kim in that team?
No, that was the one before.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, you're talking a star-studded US team, and Fowler just stood out a mile. He had, just everything about him oozed charisma. Yeah, he almost, you know what? He almost had aura.
Yeah.
I would go that far. And he turned pro, and I think the expectation was that he and Rory might have sort of parallel careers, and this will be the big rivalry and all that sort of stuff. And for a while, it looked like it might happen. I remember Rory's first year in the PGA Tour, everyone expected that he would win Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
Largely because he won. I think he won, was it Quail Hollow? But no, Fowler got the nod instead, and I'm still incredulous about that, as I think most people are. But
I don't think Rory would be too worried.
I don't think Rory's worried in the slightest. But yeah, you look at what's happened since then. I mean, bar that incredible year in 2014 when I think Fowler finished top 5 in all the majors, well, he's not had a sniff of winning one, really.
Apart from US Open.
US Open,
Clark
yeah,
won it. He was
at
right
LA.
there, wasn't
He should have won it that year.
Yeah.
That's when he came out of that slump and should really have completed the comeback with that US Open win.
Yep.
Yeah, he's won the Players, but I think, to Gordon's point, he hasn't won enough.
Yeah.
6 times. I mean, I think Matt Fitzpatrick is now on 5.
Sure, most of
following his
them have
win
been
at
in
the
the last
weekend.
month.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't say his career is the most disappointing in golf. I would say that it has delivered nowhere near what was expected of it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think I balk slightly at the only 6 PGA Tour wins. Now, I get it's all relative and you're talking about the hype that he had, but winning 6 times in the PGA Tour is very
hard,
impressive.
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
it's not an easy thing to do. And like you said, one of them was the biggest event that the PGA Tour has in the Players. But this is going to sound silly, right? But it is the image of him that makes you think, for like armchair fans, it makes you maybe think that he's been more successful than he has. And by that, I mean the orange on Sundays. Now, I get that sounds a bit daft, right? But bear with me, in that he is one of the most recognisable players on tour, with that and the hair and everything else, and like the Puma and Cobra stuff, all that makes him stand out. But there's players who have won more times than him that could walk through an airport and no one's going to recognise him. So I think that's
true.
That goes against him
He's
in
exposed.
that way.
He's probably overexposed relative to
Yes.
what he's delivered in a playing sense.
Which is where the overrated tag
and that's where
comes in.
what Nick Faldo said about him, doing all these adverts. I mean, that's also true. He's I mean, I know you were kind of suggesting there, Lewis, putting words in your mouth that he's cosplaying as a PGA Tour pro, but
It's definitely not what I was
definitely
saying.
not that.
What I would also say, is that he is the same age as Rory. So it's not like he's finished as a pro. Like, you could go out
he's only
and...
28. Sorry.
Thanks for listening to this week's Bunkered podcast.
The old Antiniemi joke. I've been waiting, what's this, 6 years for that opportunity.
We won't be back next week. This is the last time this is ever... No, I can't mind the point I was going to make there. But
He's the same age as Rory.
Yeah,
He's
same
not
age
done.
as Rory. So he's not done at all. I wouldn't be massively shocked if... It was only a few years back that he nearly won the US Open. So I wouldn't be massively shocked if he came close again. So... Up to this point, it's been disappointing. It doesn't mean it's always going to be that way.
It's going to have to get real good real soon for a long period of time.
Yes.
He's currently world number 56. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Do
this
you know
is
what?
the thing
I'll
about
tell you this, Gordon.
exemptions.
I'm
Yeah.
more worried about Jordan Spieth than I am Ricky at this moment in time. But never mind. Another question. There it is. Hi, guys. Love the podcast. Oh, good start.
Excellent.
That's the best place to start. A lot of talk. Oh, this is like an essay, Jesus.
Oh, right, okay.
A lot of talk again at the Masters about the golf ball rollback being needed, which was obviously mentioned by the Augusta chairman and Gary Player. Insert McEwen's impression of Gary Player. Right. Yeah. My question is, why is the push to roll back the golf ball, which will affect every single golfer in the world in some way, shape or form, even if just minor, when they could just limit the size of drivers that the top professionals have to use? Goes on and on and on. It would surely lead to more exciting tournaments and higher scores from the pros if they didn't always hit it out of the centre. What are your thoughts? Keep up the good work. Thanks, Stuart. Oh, I do like that. I mean,
Yes.
this is a point that's been discussed an awful lot over the years. Why go for the ball when the frying pan driver is an option? Lewis, what is the reason?
I agree with Stuart on the premise here that watching players hit what we would now call like a mini driver and that be the biggest head that they're allowed would be more exciting.
So we're talking about a 280cc head instead of a 460cc.
give or take. So like think of like a big 3-wood basically.
Yeah, okay.
But I would suggest the reason that we're going for the golf ball is that that's the easiest thing for players to change, in that I'm thinking like amateur players here, and that you don't need to get rid of your £500 driver. You'll need to get rid of your £3 Pro V1 and get something different. I think that's a big part of it.
Driver's going to last longer than one golf ball.
For most players, yes, it will. Yeah.
So prorated.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
If finance is the concern.
It's not so much finance and the ease of replacement, I guess, in that you can buy new golf balls that are going to be conforming easier. I think it's the easiest thing to regulate, probably, rather than the size of drivers. And the easiest thing to then make that go shorter for me. If you were to make a club that was a 3-wood size head, say, but had 7 degrees of loft, similar to a modern day driver, for the most part, I have the inkling that pros are going to hit it out of the middle pretty much 95% of the time at the top level, and it wouldn't make a massive difference unless you
What
went
if you
back.
took away tees?
Yeah, I have seen this suggested. Nah, it would make it bloody difficult, that's for sure. And it would stop...
For pros alone, I'm talking about.
Yeah, for pros alone. Yeah.
But then we're bifurcating the rules.
Bifurcating the rules,
we may
and
as
that's
well.
a whole other story. Yeah, I don't know. I think
I'm not
people,
against it, by the way.
I'm not massively against it, but I think we're talking about spectator experience in the first part and being able to watch players up close. When you get up close to Rory McIlroy, you want to see him hit a driver really hard. And if he doesn't have a tee to stick his ball on, regardless of if the ball is going to fly.
An entertainment matter.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of that. You want to see the difference between...
Never mind what it does to the golf courses, as long as we're entertained.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a bit of that. I don't know. I think to answer the question, the point is that it's the easiest thing to regulate, isn't it? In my eyes.
The golf ball?
Yes, I think so. I think that's probably the reason.
But I also do understand the point about why don't you just... I mean, you've got all this product anyway. 280cc head for the pros could be the maximum, and for amateurs, it could be 460cc.
Yeah.
The equipment manufacturers can still sell all the product, and if for some reason you wanted to play Rory's quote-unquote driver with its 280cc head, you can still go and buy that. Therefore, you're still playing the same game with the same equipment on the same golf courses as Rory and all the stuff that matters to people about that. But yeah, it feels like that's a fairly easy way to limit it. But, I mean, listen, golf's hard.
Golf is very hard.
We hear this conversation all the time about it's time to rein it in, do all this and do all that. Yeah, still bloody difficult.
I don't
all
know.
This equipment, all these technological advances. Don't know about, well, I do know about you. You're shooting 1 under because you've had you're shooting, by the way, there's the point. You're shooting 1 under because you had a bloody good lesson and you're giving something technical to work on. You didn't suddenly shoot 1 under because of the equipment that you're using. You're now able to use the equipment better than you were 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That comes from good coaching. That's not a silver bullet, which is probably going to be the name of a new driver before you know it.
Could
do you know
McLaren.
what I mean? That's
McLaren's
maybe.
papaya bullet.
But that's the point. Technique, getting taught to do the right things in the right way is the quickest, easiest way to save shots.
Well, yeah, it's certainly not quick to do it that way, but I know what you mean. Yeah,
certainly quicker, I would say.
It's quicker than trying.
You
to
can
get
step
the
up
right
with
driver,
a 460cc head and spray it all over the joint.
Oh yeah,
over and over and over again. And this most forgiving driver of all time is only as forgiven as the swing and the technique that you put on.
Of course.
So,
yeah.
Going slightly off topic. Great question though, Stuart. I do like that. Speaking of equipment, Lewis, like I said at the top of the show, this happened just as we came on air. Justin Rose has been announced as the first ever brand ambassador for McLaren Golf. McLaren are doing their full launch in a couple of days' time in Miami to coincide with the Miami Grand Prix, which is taking place there. Starting to get to see a little bit more of the clubs, which look very, very cool. Yes, papaya/orange features prominently, as does the McLaren logo. But yeah, today the story is all about Justin Rose becoming the first Tour Pro for them. It looks like he's, by all accounts, using a full bag of clubs.
Yep.
He's also going to be an investor in McLaren Golf Thoughts?
Yes. Well, there's certainly irons there. We were doing the classic zooming in on photos and trying to see what they are. I am not shocked that it's Justin Rose, because I think there's been connections there of people maybe paying attention to social media, that he's been hanging about with McLaren
He's
people.
been in the paddock.
Yeah, in the paddock. The F1 paddock, not the horse's paddock, but yes. I think has he played with Lando Norris before, who is like McLaren's #1.
And he's good friends
F1
with Zach Brown as well.
Right, okay. So it makes sense on that front. I am slightly surprised that he's putting the clubs in place straight away. I think that's a big...
He's been working on them for ages, though.
Yeah, I know.
He's been involved through it. Apparently, this has been a 2-year thing to get to this point. He's been hitting clubs all the way through those 2 years.
Sure.
Of course he has.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I don't doubt
He's been an
that.
equipment free agent for a reason.
Yeah, well, this is true. He's the guy who will... There's not many PGA Tour players who change equipment more than Justin Rose.
No.
And it is... No brand is safe from him. He can use Callaway, TaylorMade, Titleist, Honma, famously, infamously, I should say. That didn't go so well for him. So hopefully McLaren will go better for Justin.
He's had more input, so I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued to see how this goes for him. He's putting them in play this week as it's the 27th.
Cadillac Championship.
That is the one. Yeah, conflicting there. Cadillac, obviously. I think they're going into F1 as well, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah, I think so. Imagine. I think, don't quote me on
By
that.
the way,
McLaren clubs winning the Cadillac.
What an amazing bit of guerrilla marketing that is.
Yeah, brilliant.
To hard launch your brand new golf equipment line in the week of a rival car manufacturer's
tournament.
Event. Amazing. I am so here for that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That is so good.
Oh, it's just coincidence.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Oh,
definitely
maybe it is,
not.
but if
it's a hell of a coincidence.
Love that.
I'm really intrigued to see how they go. I don't have any idea if it's going to be good or not. I haven't seen them up close, so I don't know if the clubs are going to be great. Yeah.
Do you think that more players will follow Justin Rose here? Because we spoke about him just there, Ricky Fowler. I could see him.
Yeah, well, the colour scheme.
The colour scheme for one. But yeah, he's a big motorsport fan. He's into his dirt track racing and all that sort of stuff. So I could see
sort
it.
of stuff that the kids are doing with these days.
Whatever they get up to in their own time, these children.
What they'd like.
Yeah, I could see Ricky Fowler.
Oh yeah, I can see other
McLaren
players joining up for sure. I don't think Justin Rose will be the only one.
No.
And I say that I don't know how the clubs are going to be. He wouldn't be putting them in play if they're rubbish. Like Justin Rose is not that kind of guy. He famously drives like an RV round on the PGA Tour that he goes into after rounds to have like cold plunges. So
he's very particular.
Attention to detail is high on the agenda for Justin Rose. So he's not going to be playing clubs that are crap. Yeah. So if they are good, then I can see if McLaren want to get other players on board, I'm sure they would love that. Yeah,
we'll tell you more about the McLaren Golf product range on next week's episode of the Bunkered podcast. We'll know more information on Wednesday about it, so make sure you're on the Bunkered website, bunker.co.uk, for all of the latest news about it. And frankly, first look, we all talk all the time about, it does this, it does that, it's got a low CG, it's got adjustable weights, it's got a fluted hosel. We all want to know what it looks like. Yeah. So if you want to know what the clubs look like, the Bunkered website is the place to go. Lewis, this also got announced this morning. I'm rattling through a few
There's a
points.
lot. We go away for a couple of weeks, there's a lot going on.
Royal Lytham is getting the Open in 2028, first time since 2012. And I think indeed the 12th time in total for the Lancashire club hosting it. Bit of a surprise though, no?
Yeah, didn't really see this coming. I think we spoke ages ago about courses that are sort of falling off the rota a little bit, and Lytham was one of them because, before 2012, it was a long time before it was there.
2001?
Yeah, so there you go. So it seems to be not the most, it's not going there every few years, is it? So a bit of a surprise there, but I guess it's kind of goes to other clubs that maybe aren't in a position to be hosting it at the moment is possibly the reason that's going to Lytham. Like Muirfield, for I guess they maybe don't want, members might not want the Open there. That's would be my impression.
That's always been the accusation levelled at them, and I think that's certainly true for some of the membership. Whether they get the Open or not, I think they're fairly ambivalent, some of them, about it. But listen, Muirfield's Muirfield and the Ailsa at Turnberry, they're probably the two best courses on the rota, in my opinion.
Yep.
So it'd be great to see them get the chance. It's infrastructural issues at Turnberry, we're led to believe, and that is fundamentally true. Last time it was there, 2009, I think 120,000 people showed up. The Open now needs somewhere that can accommodate north of 220,000 people across the week. And Turnberry, the size of land that they've got and where in the world it is, the road network roundabout, it's a part of the country I know intimately, and there's no getting away from it. As much as I would love it to go there, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's really difficult. You know, the nearest main town, big town, is Ayr, which is a good 30-40 minute drive away, and it's not like the roads roundabout are incredible. So it's
not set up to have a quarter of a million people there in a week, are they?
I mean, all this stuff about the ownership, whilst I don't think it'll ever be said out loud publicly, I'm sure it doesn't help.
No, of course
that it's owned by Donald Trump. But even if it wasn't, there are a lot of massive logistical problems that Turnberry needs to overcome. And I don't think it can overcome them on its own, which is a shame.
Yep.
Then you've got Muirfield. And yeah, reading between the lines, and there's been some great reporting done on this by James Corrigan at the Telegraph. I mean, you talk about journalists at the top of their game. James has been that for donkey's years. And he had the scoop on Lytham first, and you know, he mentioned about Muirfield and some of the stuff that may be holding it back. I think this was James that mentioned this anyway. You know, there's some alterations that need to be done that aren't happening quite quickly enough. Then you've got the not impossible to overcome factor of the Renaissance next door, committed now to host the Scottish Open until 2030 minimum. Could you really have those events on back-to-back weeks? Would you even want to? I mean, if you're going to go to the Open at Muirfield, are you going to go to the Scottish Open the week before? It's probably not good business for both to be so close together. So yeah, there's a lot of... It's tricky for Muirfield and Turnberry at this moment in time, which is a shame, because like I say, I think the courses are absolutely phenomenal. Lytham, listen, great golf course as well. A lot of people actively dislike it. I've played it a few times. I really like it. Some of the same issues that Muirfield and Turnberry have around infrastructure, certainly around size of site. Really interested to see how that comes together.
Okay.
But, you know, the R&A are making so much money now from the Open, and have had a couple... Probably now 2022, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to have had 5, next year 7 Opens in a row at St Andrews. 7 Opens in a row that will have had north of 220,000 people there. Lots of money made. Maybe they can afford to take the hit 1 year at Lytham and sort of offset it just to keep it on the rota. Or maybe they'll find a way to cram 220,000 people in there. I don't know. But yeah, it caught me a little bit by surprise. You know, Lytham has... It's not just drifted off the road. It feels like it's drifted out of people's consciousness a little bit.
Well, this is it. Yeah, for me, like, I would have been 13 or 14 last time I was there, so I couldn't really tell you too much about, like...
Opens with a par 3.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's the one thing that everyone says, and a lot of bunkers as well, I think.
God, the bunkers.
If you played it a few times, then you might be able to speak to that better.
I can speak
me.
to all of the bunkers.
All of them, every single one and every single hole, great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's good that we know where it's going now, because it was getting to that point where you're thinking this is coming around quite quickly, and the R&A will want to have that confirmed. It should have been confirmed for a while, and we've just heard about it now. But
interesting, the chief exec, Mark Darbin, did say today, in fact, at the announcement that, you know, how did he put it? It's like it's a site that's not without its challenges. So they at least acknowledge that it's not going to be as straightforward as putting on an Open at Royal Liverpool, for example, or St Andrews, but
there's not many places that don't have challenges when it comes to the Open. Well, even like St Andrews, I mean, let's not kid ourselves on. Like, there's challenges there in terms of getting people into the golf course, because it wasn't designed with that in mind back in the day, was it? So you're going to have to put up with these things.
Certainly wasn't thinking I need to fit in 220,000 people.
I wouldn't imagine so. No.
If he was, he may have put in some more mounds.
Maybe, maybe, quite possibly.
Anyway,
yes.
Nelly Korda. Nelly Korda won the Chevron Championship. Major win number 3 for Nelly, who is back to world number 1. A wire-to-wire win. Lewis, she made it look pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Too. Thoughts on Nelly's victory? How much of it did you see?
Not that much, which we'll get.
Which we're going to get to, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I was busy this weekend. I was, won't get onto this, but Cali Thistle on Saturday afternoon, which is infuriating. But anyway,
Next weekend.
Yeah,
It's
next
fine.
weekend. So I'm gonna have to go up to Inverness next weekend. But yeah, Nelly Korda, I had to double check because I couldn't believe that she's only now got 3 majors. She should win so much more with the quality that she has. The way that she drives the ball is like one of the longest hitters on the LPGA. Couple that with the accuracy that she has, which is ridiculous. She hits so many fairways. You just think, how are you not winning like this more often, where you're shooting, just going like 14 under for the first 2 rounds, and the lead from there is pretty much unassailable. So I think she will probably feel the same about her game and think, this needs to be what I'm doing pretty regularly and start racking up majors. Because, yeah, like it's silly to think that she's only won 3 to this point in her career because she's been at the top of the game for so long. Like,
Yeah, she had a bad year by her standards last year.
Well, she
which I
didn't
think was
win last year, did she?
compared to the previous year where she won pretty much every week, it felt like, certainly to begin with.
Yep.
But look at how she started this season. She's gone first, second, second, tied second, first.
right.
5 events, and her worst finish is a tie for second.
Yeah. Wonder what went wrong that week. Yeah,
So
no, you're right.
she's doing well.
She is doing well. I hope that this kind of it's obviously not going to continue that well for the rest of the year, but I think the women's game needs someone like Nelly Korda, where fans will look up to her and think that she is someone that you want to be like, because
Needs it in America.
yes, well, this is the thing.
It's the biggest market outside of Asia, where they're already hugely strong.
Yeah.
In the American market, and this is something that's been true for the LPGA forever, they need a strong American golfer.
That is her.
That's Nelly.
There's no one really else that comes close
No.
to her at this moment. So if she's on form like that and can start going on a run like she did a couple of years back and do that for a sustained period of time in majors, I think that's got to be good for the game.
Is that the last major she'll win this season? Yes or no?
No, I think she
Because
could.
there's 4 more chances, right?
Yeah,
You think she'll add one more?
Yeah, I would say so. Like, yeah, just by law of averages, like if she's playing that well at the moment, then you can see her racking up more. So it would be great to see her do that in the UK, the AIG. I would love to see that. So let's hope so.
Okay. Right, time's marching away from us, and I was going to spend a bit of time talking about LIV and the PIF because all that kicked off since we last podded. But let's just take a few minutes to look at that, and specifically why it's all happening now. Because I think where we are now, so almost 2 weeks on from this story first breaking, it does look like LIV's going to continue, Lewis, at least for this season. But all the signs appear to be pointing towards the PIF, Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, either reducing or entirely pulling its support at the end of this year. I guess people are wondering, well, why now? And I've got a bit of a theory on this, which may be right or wrong, but you go right back to when LIV started, and there was a hell of a lot of talk at that time about this being an attempt by, and the latest attempt, the latest sport being used by the Saudis to try and sports wash or launder their reputation. And I get why people drew that conclusion, but I think that has to start with the Saudis, first of all, thinking that whatever it is that they're doing human rights wise is wrong. And I don't know if there's enough evidence to suggest that they think that what they're doing and some of their behaviours and attitudes towards people is wrong. To sports wash or to launder your reputation, you need to first of all acknowledge and admit your reputation isn't great. That may be it, but I think what is undeniably, and has always undeniably been the case, it's called the Public Investment Fund for a reason. It's a line I've used in this show many times before. Keyword, investment.
Yes.
It's not the Public Benevolent Fund. It's not the Public Charitable Trust. They have put all this money in to make money. It's the same as they've done in other sports. They bought Newcastle United for 300 million. That club is now valued at over $1 billion.
Yep.
Good investment. LIV, ploughed in, depending on who you believe, anywhere between 5 and 6 billion.
Lots of money.
That's 6 Newcastle Uniteds.
Yeah.
Now, 6 Newcastle Uniteds.
Yeah.
That is a lot more Newcastle Uniteds when they bought them. but they're not making the money back.
No.
We know they're not.
No, of course not.
So at some point, any rational, sensible investor goes, I'm going to stop putting in money.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried, I've given it my best go, and I'm done.
Yep.
Can't keep throwing money at a product where the return on investment is not so much unclear, it's actually very clear. It's going to take, by Scott O'Neill, the chief executive's own admission, at least a decade.
Yeah.
And I think that's a conservative estimate.
I would say so.
So why is it happening now? Because they've looked and they've gone, nope, can't keep throwing money at something where we're not seeing any evidence that it's going to be a worthwhile investment for us. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they probably reached the point now where you think, okay, what do we, at the very start, what did we need? We need venues and a tour and a format, and they've got that. Venues are good by all accounts, like Adelaide, great. South Africa, fantastic.
Valderrama's amazing. Yep.
Valderrama, there's others like in the UK, like JCB and then Centurion. Good. Then what else do we need? We need players. Big tick in the box there. John Ram is playing. Bryson DeChambeau is playing. So many like former world number ones, major champions. Fantastic. Tick in the box there. Then you need the interest and people to really buy into the concept.
You need TV exposure.
TV exposure. You need people to watch live golf events and be genuine, like really invested in what's happening and what team is going to win and what player and like how Wacky Neiman's playing and everything else. And unfortunately for them, I just don't think that is there. So at this point, they think, right,
no one follows the Rippers the way they follow the Dallas Cowboys.
No, of course, or Newcastle United.
Well, yes.
So that's where I would imagine the bosses are going, well, where do we go from here? What other point do we spend money on to turn this around?
Yeah.
And like recoup the billions that we've put into this? And I just don't know what else that is, unless you're not going to get other players. Well, certainly not after the news that's come out now. I wouldn't imagine you're going to get a bigger name than John Ram to come over and start playing on this tour and really generate that interest.
Well, you're going to need an investor that's got exceptionally deep pockets and is prepared to stump up the cash to pay for him.
Yeah, and right now,
and who is
the
that?
people with the deepest pockets in the world are the ones investing. So there's not really anyone else.
And that's the
at
thing.
This moment.
So the question is really going to be, can LIV secure the capital it needs to remain viable? And if not, what does that mean for Bryson and co? Listen, we don't know. So we'll just wait and see. I mean, I feel like they've got this amount of time between now and, let's say, the end of the season, which is only August, or maybe the end of the calendar year. But it's like they've been given some time to go and secure other private equity to bring in to replace the money that the Saudis have been pouring in. Yeah. It's a huge ask. What's interesting for me, though, is if LIV ceases to exist in its current form or even remotely close to its current form, what does that mean for the PGA Tour? Right. Because it massively inflated its purses just to keep up, to stop players from being seduced by the money available over there.
Yep.
If there's no competitor in the market, it doesn't need to continue to offer cash prizes as big as they currently are. Unsustainable cash prizes, by the way. So do prize funds suddenly come down? I mean, the tours, PGA Tour's got its own issues. It's laying off staff last week.
Yeah, of course.
A significant number. I'm led to believe there may be more to come. So, will purses come down because they don't need to be as high? Surely to God.
Probably, yeah, but then the players won't like that, will they? But they don't have an option if anywhere to go.
What are they going to do?
Yeah, what are they going to do? Yeah, exactly.
Start
their
own
you're probably
tour.
right. Find someone. Oh, God, yeah, I know. No, you're right. The purses will probably come down because they certainly won't start going up again because they have been for the last few years. It's crazy money.
Maybe then someone will go, the Ryder Cup ticket prices are too much as well.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, then you wonder, like, what does happen to all these players that are on LIV? Because Brooks coming back has made, like, a fairly material change to events in that more players are now playing because he's there and it's creating an odd number and they're playing. Yeah. So if you have John Ram wanting to come back to the PGA Tour, if he does want to do, if this all happens, purely hypothetical again, then where does like the tour go from there? Are they going to have all these players that were on the PGA Tour coming back and playing? Like,
those 156-man fields are going to...
Yeah, well then, like, what happens to the signature event model? Like, that completely is out the window and is getting ripped up and started again.
It's out the window already. They've got back-to-back signature events this week and next, leading into a major that Rory's got no interest in playing.
Yeah.
The guy who was one of the architects of that change is like, nah.
And not just Rory, by the way.
No, not just Rory, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Ludwig's playing this week. There's a lot of guys skipping it because it has problems.
The demise of LIV, if it happens... And it would be incredibly sad for all of the people who aren't Bryson and John Ram, who do have bills to pay and mortgages and families to support and, you know, getting thrust back into a job market that is volatile, to say the least. Terrible for them. Like, awful. And anyone who says otherwise needs to give their head a serious, serious wobble. But it may just be that is the first, sorry, Phil, chess move that stabilizes an out-of-control market. The golf ecosystem is mental and has been for a long time. Ecosystem, yes, the E word. And it needs to stabilize, otherwise it'll eat itself or implode.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens next. Anyway, I'm sure we'll talk about that plenty more in the weeks to come.
Yes.
Let's talk about Order of Merit, Lewis.
Oh, God, yeah.
James's departure means we're going to reset to the very, very old rules, which I don't think you've played with before. So essentially, it's simple. It's now first to 10.
Okay.
And there's
one
point.
Okay, I see, yeah.
No. There's 1 point if my player finishes ahead of your player, or vice versa.
Yep.
No points if they both miss the cut. But if one of the players wins, whereas previously it would have been 3 points, it's now 2 points. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. God, that's not much for picking a winner. That's quite stingy, you know.
That is 3? When you get 2 for winning otherwise?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Yeah, look, probably won't matter because we're not going to pick that many golfers that win.
It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, no, I know, but... Well, might be to the listeners.
RBC Heritage last week was the most recent event. You picked Jacob Bridgman, finishing the tie for 33rd.
Yeah.
I went for Matt Fitzpatrick. Sorry, in honour of James, Matt Fitzpatrick, who won the event, getting me the 2 points.
Well done. Actually, 2 points is better, not 3 points. You don't need that. It's
and
excessive.
I can now pick Fitzpatrick again
because
he won.
Yeah, that rule stays in place. Well done.
As it stands, you're on the 1 point that you won at the Masters.
Okay, yes.
2-1 to me, basically, is the easy way of summarising. Cool. And this week, the Cadillac Championship at Doral. It's my honour, and I'm going to pick Matt Fitzpatrick. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
Not only did he win the RBC Heritage, he won the Valspar just before the Masters, and he won last weekend in New Orleans with his brother Alex, getting him a PGA Tour card. Don't get me started on that. Matt Fitzpatrick for the hat-trick.
Fantastic.
The Matt Fitz-hat-trick.
That's good. That's really good. I like that a lot. Well done.
Yeah. Whilst I'm basking in the glory of that, who are you picking?
Picking Gary Woodland.
Oh, great shot.
Also on very good form. Not quite as good as Matt, but yes.
Who is?
Nobody. Exactly. The good point.
It's Matt's world and we're all living in it.
Yeah, we are indeed living in it. Gary Woodland hits the ball a long way and the golf course is long, so that's what I'm going. I think it's nearly 7,800 yards. So he hits it further than
the
Matt
Blue
Fitzpatrick.
Monster.
That's what they call it. Yep, the Blue Monster. So hopefully Gary Woodland can do well. At least beat Fitzpatrick, which I don't think he will, unfortunately.
An old neighbour of mine played the Blue Monster back in, I think, the 90s, 80s or 90s. And he told me about it, and it's just like, oh, yeah, I played the Blue Monster. I was like, oh, really? He just went, yeah, shook his head vigorously. So not the easiest golf course in the world.
This is why we need to roll the ball back, because we've got courses that are nearly 8,000 yards long.
Well, yes, you're right. That's one of the reasons put forward. Anyway, Gary Woodland versus Matt Fitzpatrick. Matt Fitz-hat-trick. Oh, that is honestly
quality. That's brilliant.
That's so good.
Yep.
Producer Will, Matt Fitz-hat-trick. Yes, he liked it as well. Right,
so I have to smile here.
Golf, tenable time to finish up.
Yeah.
Lewis, it's just me on my own, which, let's face it, was always the case anyway. So
he got Jesper Parnevik back in.
Parnevik.
Great shout. Don't know
somewhere, wherever he is right now, James is hitting 460-yard drives, and in between them, he's just going, staring off, looking at the ball as it disappears over the horizon, going, Jesper Parnevik.
Yep.
Smiling to himself.
Probably.
Anyway,
Okay.
what we got? I will
We
close
have
my laptop.
got,
for this.
yeah, no, it's fine. It would take you a while to search this one up.
Oh,
So
Christ.
I've been trying to keep this fairly topical. So this is Jim Furyk adjacent question here.
Oh God.
So he won his one and only major championship at the
2003 US Open. 2002 US Open.
No.
2003.
2003. Yeah, you were correct. First time. Well done. I would like you to. So on the Monday of that US Open, he was ranked 10th in the world.
Piss off. Who are the other 9?
Yeah, who were the 9 above him?
Oh, he was 10.
He was 10th.
Okay. Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods was number 1.
Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, Phil's 6.
Was he really? Jeez,
Yeah, he was
Vijay Singh.
Vijay Singh was 4th. Well
Ernie
done.
Els.
Ernie Els was 2nd. Going well here.
How many have I got?
You've got 4 plus Jim.
So I've got 5 to go.
5 to go.
Retief Goosen.
Yeah, well done. 9th. Fine here.
Wheels have come off a little bit now.
No.
The trouble is, I've just got, this always happens, you end up with one name stuck in your head and it just starts like pecking
Gnawing
at you, like
Yeah.
some sort of Dundee seagull, just like, that name is David Duval. And because he won the Open in 2001, less than 12 months earlier. It has to have been top. David Duval.
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, really?
Really. I don't have the full list. I just
Shit.
have the top 10 in front of me. Let's see if I can find them.
Oh, that's painful. Okay, one life gone. Ryder Cup that year. Oh, but that's complicated because they'd all qualified 12 months earlier because of September 11th, hadn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, oh.
You were flying as well. Do you want the rankings? Would that help?
Well, one of them's third, right?
Yeah.
Third, and what else?
You've got 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 8th to get.
Third, fifth, seventh, eighth. Sergio.
No.
2 lives gone.
2 lives gone.
Oh,
Sergio
no.
was 15th.
Sergio. Oh my
Raging
God.
with him.
Masters that year was won by Tiger back to back. No, it wasn't. 2003. I'm getting
Yeah.
my years all wrong.
You are.
2003 was Mike Weir. Surely not Mike Weir. He can't have been 8th or better. Monty?
No.
No! You're joking!
Oh! Monty was 22nd.
You're going to say Mike Weir, aren't you?
Yeah.
No!
Mike Weir was 5th. You're right there. I was about to say yes, and then you blurted
Jesus.
out Monty.
Mike Weir.
Oh, Michael.
Adam Scott.
No, I think you're a bit early for
What countries are they? It's Americans all, isn't it?
No, 2 Americans and 1 from Ireland.
Darren Clark.
No.
From Ireland.
Well,
Harrington.
Yes.
Shit.
Shit
And then-
indeed.
What, 3 Americans?
You've got 2 Americans now.
2 Americans.
3rd and 8th.
Third!
Yeah.
Third!
3rd. He
How's
says
that possible?
incredulously. There's a clue in that as well, funnily enough.
Davis Love.
Yeah.
Davis Love the third was third.
Uh-huh.
And that leaves
8th is the hardest one to get, I would say.
major champion.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
Scott Verplank.
No. he
Scott
was-
Hoke.
No.
Must have been in the Ryder Cup team. Has to have been in the
Oh,
Ryder Cup
he
team.
is a major champion, sorry.
Now.
A couple of years before that.
Couple years before.
Yep.
Lee Jansen?
No.
Couple years before.
As in, like, a couple of years before this ranking, so yeah,
2001.
2001. Yep.
You're sure it's not David Duval?
It's not David Duval.
Certain it's not David Duval.
Certain.
No, I'm stuck.
David Toms. Good effort. That was a tough one.
It wasn't. It was dreadful.
All right, sorry.
That was absolutely abysmal.
Fair enough, it was rubbish.
Bring back
Hopeless.
James.
Do you reckon he'd got David Toms?
Yeah, all day.
Maybe. He would.
Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah, unlucky.
Good tenable, Lewis.
That was a hard
Good tenable.
one.
I like that one.
Uh-huh.
Listen, if you've got better ideas for tenable, please get in touch with.
Please, this is hard.
Guy.
It's hard to think of these every week.
It's the hardest part of Lewis's week is coming up with this.
It is.
But I like it because I enjoy a quiz. So, Lewis, thank you. And thank you for your contributions this week. Much appreciated indeed. You're off on your travels again. You're off to Close House in about an hour's time.
Immediately as this podcast ends, I'll be jumping in the car and driving down. I don't know. Do you want me to say now?
No,
to keep
save
it
for
secret?
next week.
Yeah, keep it secret.
Because it's very cool what you're doing.
I'm genuinely so excited for this.
Something you've never done before.
Yeah.
And listen, you thought you had a good lesson last week with Ailsa. I think the lesson you're getting tomorrow may just be even better. So enjoy that and tell us all about that next week. Thank you very much to you all for listening, watching along. If you're watching along on YouTube, remember youtube.com/bunkered if you want to see all this in action. We are at The Bunkered Pod on Twitter and facebook.com/The Bunkered Podcast on Facebook if you want to follow us there. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's bye-bye for now.